Hello and welcome to the road to F1 2016. This time out we're at the prestigious Monaco Grand Prix, hopefully trying to keep it out of the barriers for this race weekend and also hopefully taking some decent points back with us when we go to our next race. You join me now in practice, and we are going to try and get to grips with the track, trying to find out where we can push our Force India car, but also where we've got to be a little bit more careful as we haven't got the best car on the grid, let's be honest. So we're coming through on lap number 4 of our practice session so far. Our best lap is a 1:18.8, but we're going to come across the line and we're going to absolutely smash that lap time by over a second and a half to take a 1:17.1, which gives us provisional pole in practice, but we do drop down the order slightly to 6th place. But in fairness, we've only got the Ferraris, Mercedes and one Red Bull in front of us, so qualifying is actually looking quite good. We're setting some decent lap times. We weren't too far off the pace, so now we are in qualifying. We're going to try and set as many laps as possible, because getting as much lapping, as much experience with this track is key, because you've got to figure out how close can I get to this barrier without binning it. That is literally what you've got to do. So our first lap is a 1:18.0, nothing is special, but it does get us 6th place for the moment. Now you join me in lap 2, coming through the chicane, taking a little bit too much curb, but we got a nice exit. Now we come in here, and it was a corner that I really struggled with to try and get right. We are 2/10 up in our second sector. There's a little bit debris coming into the third, but we've now got a couple of corners to go before we come onto the pitch straight. And yeah, taking it a little bit conservatively at the moment. We've just got to build up our confidence, as I said, and get used to the track and just find out where our car is considering with the grip levels and stuff like that. But we do set a 1:17.5, which is a little bit better. But we now move on to lap number 5. We've improved slightly to a 1:17.3, so we improved by about 2/10. We've got a car right behind our backside. He's trying to eat our gearbox, but we're going to run to the line, see if we can get a better lap in just before the end of qualifying. And when we do, it's a 1:17.0, and now we move on to lap 6 and we lock up coming into the long right hander. We just didn't have the braking power. We almost did basically a Nico Rosberg, except we didn't reverse it back out on track and caused Lewis Hamilton to lose the pole. But now we move on to the race. We are qualifying quite high up in the grid, so that is actually brilliant. We might be able to finish in our qualifying position, which I believe was 4th place. So if we can finish 4th in Monaco, that would be absolutely amazing. I don't think this race is going to be full of overtaking, but I do think it will be full of nerves, probably torture as well, when you're thinking barrier, 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 and you just try not to make a mistake. That is the main thing with Monaco, because if you make a mistake, you are going to lose a heap of positions and you're probably going to break your car. So let's move on to the race now, going on to the grid. So we're going to try and do a 1 stop in this race. That is probably the best way to get through Monaco. It's not much of a high degradation track for your tyres, so we're going to try and look after them, but at the same time we're going to have to defend by a lot of hungry cars behind us that want to have our position. But here we are waiting for the 5 lights to go out, and away we go, and it looks like we've had a decent start. We've got Ricciardo trying to go past us, and he's going to have the inside line into turn 1. Try not make any contact, so we just back out of it slightly so he doesn't cause any issues for us. But we're going to have a better run through the first sector. We're going to try and maybe go down the inside through this long left-hander. We run slightly wide, but we just about make that position back, and we're now back into 4th place. Now we've got to try and catch up to Bottas, who's got a little bit further ahead than I would have expected in the first couple of corners. Now we come to the hairpin, the slowest corner in F1, and now we're just going to flick it right, hopefully picking up some time to Bottas. But now we move on to lap number 2. We've got a few cars behind us as we basically tap the outside of that wall there, and I had to check to see if I had any damage. I don't, which is brilliant. So we are now still in 4th place as we move on to lap 4. We've got Grosjean just behind us, who's getting a little bit hungry and frustrated. He's got a little bit more pace than I have. I keep on missing my braking points, running wide into certain corners, but still he can't get past us, which is brilliant for us. Well, it's a little bit annoying for the guys behind, because a bit of a train has formed. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to see if we can try and keep onto these positions. There are a few overtaking spots on this track, as you can see here in lap number 6. Grosjean just had a little bit of a better run through the tunnel, but he had to back out of it. I don't know why he did back out of it, but he did, as we take a little bit too much curb. But here is a little bit of a replay of seeing why Grosjean backed out. He just got a little bit nervous coming through the right-hander through the tunnel, and we just about stay in front of him. Now we move on to lap number 9, and it looks like we're going to have to come in for some tyres soon, because these are feeling very, very bad, but we have pulled a little bit of a gap to Grosjean. So if we can keep this gap, that'll be brilliant as we move into the pits now, as we're going to put on a set of prime tyres that will take us to the end of the race. And yeah, hopefully we can keep ahead in our 4th position. However, I do think it's going to be quite difficult to do so, because as I said, there are a lot of hungry cars behind us that do want to get past. It was a 2.4 second pit stop, which isn't bad at all. And now we're going to come back out onto the grid. Where we're going to come out, it looks like it's going to be 9th place. Hopefully we can get the pit exit right this time. We have been struggling with our pit exits lately. Take it quite nice and easy through the exit of the pits, and we are still in 9th place. Now we move on to lap number 10. I believe a few other cars are going to be coming into the pits now, as we have a little bit of oversteer coming into the penultimate corner. But now we're back onto the pit straight, and it looks like we've had about a 2-second gap, and we do indeed move back into 4th place. And as I said, we've pulled a little bit of a gap to Grosjean, and we move on to lap number 12, and it looks like that gap's getting even further. We just seem to have found a little bit more pace on the prime tyres compared to Grosjean, but yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to catch up to the likes of Raikkonen and other cars. Now we move on to lap number 14. Grosjean has started to close the gap. That probably was my own fault for missing a couple of braking points again. I calmed down for a little bit. I got a little bit more tuned with the track, but this time I just started making a few errors on the last couple of laps, which has allowed him to get back right up my gearbox. But hopefully we can defend. As I said, Grosjean did have a little bit of an attacking manoeuvre at us as we hit the wall once more, and that's going to cause us even more problems. Luckily enough, no damage has been given to the front wing. Now we move on to the penultimate lap, and we are still in 4th place, and Grosjean is right behind us. Is he going to try and have a cheeky DRS move down the pit straight, moving on to the last lap? I don't know if he's close enough, as we have a huge tank slapper, and we somehow catch the car at low speeds. This Force India really doesn't feel well. So we move on to the last lap. Grosjean is just behind us. We're coming through the tunnel once more. He's got a better run. Is he going to have a dive into the chicane? He does not. He's just sticking right behind us. He's thinking, where can he get this move done? We just going to try and coast home now. These tyres are feeling quite rough at the moment. Nico Rosberg has won the race, and yeah, it looks like we're just about going to stay in 4th place. It looks like. I hope we do. I don't see Grosjean getting past us here, because it is a short run to the finish line, but we get a nice exit through that corner. It looks like we're going to come home for the Monaco Grand Prix in 4th place. Nice result. As I said, I didn't think there was going to be a lot of overtakes in this race, but I did think it was going to be tense, and that was. I was sweating buckets through that race. Just the amount of pressure that you had. I had the cars right behind me, I had the barriers right next to me, and it was just such a struggle to not make a mistake and crack under the pressure. But there we are, we finished in 4th place, picked up 12 points for the Force India team. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, smash that like button and subscribe if you're new around here, and if you could please share this video, get this around your mates. But thank you for watching, hope you enjoy your day, I'll see you in the next video, goodbye.
Back from the dead.